This week the gag is...
Oh, Lord.
Camille may or may not have been hooking up with someone for 5 years.
4.
To find out he's...
engaged.
'Cause I'm no superhero.
Yeah. Been engaged for 2 of the 4 years.
Mm-hmm. No, 3. 2, 3. Something like that. Yeah. Long time. Had a girlfriend the whole time. Yeah. Crazy.
He's so secretive.
I think Alicia's sister, hi Courtney, shout out, said it best. She's like, that's fucking mental illness. And I was like, wow, you're right.
It is.
It put it perfectly into perspective for me.
He was hiding being engaged for 2 years and hiding having a girlfriend for 4 total.
Mm-hmm. It goes deeper than that, but yeah, just to preface kind of the title of this, where we're getting into, that's how it started.
You said you wanted a gag, so let's give it to him.
Well, this is my Risatisa episode.
Here is part 1 of Who the Fuck Did I Marry?
Let's give him the full
This
scoop.
is the Risatisa. The Gag Is Camille might have a Risatisa moment.
Welcome back to the podcast.
Yep.
Follow us on Instagram. It's Erica Madera and Camille X Lane. Let's get straight into the gossip.
Yeah.
One of these days, the gossip is going to be about someone else
Never.
and not about you.
But it's crazy that we were just kind of going over the timeline together, and I realized, oh my gosh, it's about to be the end of May. It's going to be May. And it's been a year. Like, it's been a year since it happened. And, like, a lot of stuff changed for me after that. And it was really interesting because I started therapy, I think in January-ish, from, like, work stuff that happened in the fall. But she went through this. She went through these pillars talking about, like, different reasons that people are in therapy. And she, like, went through 5 things. And it was, like, you've moved. You've changed, like, locations. You've experienced, like, you know, like some kind of loss of a friendship or a relationship or whatever. You've had, like, work issues or family issues or whatever. And I'm like, 4 out of the 5 things she listed to me were all major things I had been through in the last, at that point, like 6 or 8 months of my life. And I thought, wow, like, I didn't really think I had a lot of reasons other than, like, the work issues that were going on that were really traumatic for me, like, to be in therapy. But then having her list out things that are, like, actually very traumatic for a lot of people, I was like, oh, yeah, like, there are definitely a lot of things in my life that, like, I didn't think a move would be traumatic for me. It's something that I needed to, like, process. But it kind of all tied back to this issue that we're talking about.
This story is very traumatic.
Now it's been a year, and it's like, wow, it's been a year, and it still feels so still fresh of, like, how traumatic it really was to have all of it happen the way it did.
4 years.
Yeah.
Of a man you really liked. What, dare I say loved?
No, because
Thank
that
God.
was kind of the clean part of it, to be honest. So, like, okay, just to go, if this was a movie, it'd be like, back to the beginning. You don't need to, like, I don't need to Tarantino this, but so the year was 2019. I was about to, like, go on a whirlwind trip of, like, a series of things. So, like, it was April, it was spring break. I went to Miami and Cuba, and then I was coming back the weekend following that I got back from spring break, Miami and Cuba. I was going to Coachella. And then the weekend following that, I was going to Disneyland with Rochelle and Irene. So I had, like, all these things booked back to back to back. So I had started talking to him. I found him on Bumble, and we started talking. And so, like, it was this kind of, like, prolonged talking situation where we didn't actually meet up until I went on all these whirlwind vacations, got back, and then we finally found a time to meet up. And he's really hot. We went on this incredible date in Napa. Took me to, like, wouldn't tell me where we were going, just said, like, dress up, look nice, meet me at my house.
Wait.
This time.
Is this the dinner where you took your panties off in the bathroom?
Yes. Yes. So, like, so kind of, sorry, not to Tarantino again, but when I met him, and, like, so we go on this date and we start talking, and he's basically like, so listen, like, I never want to get married. I never want to have kids. I want to go into the medical field. I want to be a doctor, probably a surgeon. And so I just know that these things are not going to be in my timeline in the anywhere near future. So, like, expectations wise, I want to put that out there. And I was like, great. Yeah. Like, I had sort of just recently kind of got out of the relationship that I had been after my last big relationship in my 20s, like, broke up. And so I was just looking for something casual, like, didn't want to get serious with anybody, which was so stupid in the moment now that I look back and think about it. But he was so hot. And I was like, yeah, like, I just felt like emotionally I was in a place where I didn't want to invest in another person and, like, do all this shit. So I was like, great. So 2019, how old was I? I was
30.
Yeah, I just turned 30. Yeah, so all of that was also like the 30s, you know, the crescendo of like being in your 30s. So that was happening. So then on the date we're talking, he takes me to this beautiful restaurant in Napa that I've been to before. We get a bottle of wine. We sit on this couch. We're like drinking, watching TV. It was really great. And we were sitting on the couch and like, we're almost done with the bottle of wine. And I said, oh, it's like couches, like it's like a lounge kind of thing, but it's in a big, beautiful restaurant. You have to get buzzed through the gate. It's like so gorgeous. And I was like, oh man, like imagine if this was like us at home together, like on a random night with like a bottle of wine watching TV. And he goes, if this was us at home, I would have bent you over this couch a long time ago. And I was like, work. He was hot. Like it was popping from the jump. I looked hot. He looked great. He was super sexy. And so like I went in the bathroom and there's single stall, like long door bathrooms. It's really nice bathrooms. And I like just took my chons off and threw them away. I mean, they were done for anyways. So I come back to the couch and we're sitting there for a second and I lean over to him and I go, just so you know, I threw away my underwear when I was in the bathroom. We should probably go. And he's like, check. Like we like got out of there. On the way home in the car, I like put both my feet up on the dash while he's driving and grabbed his hand and like.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like there are very few. You don't have like a hard and fast rule about fucking on the first date. You're always like, if the vibe, yeah. Your thing is if the vibe is there, go for it.
The problem about dates is they make me horny.
Right. Exactly. I mean, look at me. Like I put my underwear away. It was on.
Yeah.
So I knew the second, and we had such good chat for like the over a month of us talking before we finally got to meet. So I knew like where it was going. And at the time, then he was living at home because he had just moved back from New York and was like figuring out jobs and stuff. And I forget what he was doing at the time, but anyway, so we go back home. He's like, my mom's here. She doesn't care. I could hear the TV on in her bedroom. We like go upstairs to his room, get it popping. It was so good, so hot. He's like, I can list the number of people like I've had like one night stands with, or what I thought, or like, no, sorry, what am I saying? I can on one hand like name the people that I've hooked up with on a first date. It's very few people. So like it was popping, right? Like we knew it was on from the jump. So this is like end of April 2019. So boom, there we go. It's cool. We start seeing each other regularly. He would come to my house. Like I have Ring video footage of like him coming to my house.
Let's show him.
Like, yeah, like put it on screen. Like this is probably the first clip you're going to see. I think this is sometime probably like in early June or late May. He like comes over to my house. You see him like walk up to my door, and I had just gone to the garden center and gotten a bunch of plants. I was like replanting my garden for summer. So when he came over, there was like all these plants and like bags of soil, and he like, you can see he helps me like carry them all into the backyard for me. Yeah. And so like, we had like a lot in common. Like he used to be in education. He was like a dean of like a boys' school in New York, which I thought was like amazing. We had a lot of like really common like interests and experiences. He also played soccer at Santa Clara in undergrad. So he's like super athletic, super fit, amazing body. And yeah, so it was like popping. So we hook up on like, I would see him pretty frequently. Like I would say like every other week.
But you knew from the beginning, and you would always say this because you would catch feelings from him on and off, and then you'd be like, but he was honest with me.
Right.
He said he doesn't want a relationship. And we're just like, we'll just convince him otherwise. And you're like, no, he told me no.
I just knew the way that he presented it to me that he was really serious about it. And to me, if you have goals and dreams for yourself, like as a Black man, like if you have goals and dreams of becoming a physician, you want to be a doctor, and you know you can't have this. I think you putting it out and being upfront with a girl is honestly like you being transparent and not, you know, being afraid to say it and leading a girl on for months knowing you have no intentions of dating her. I'd rather know that this is what it is and it's never going to be anything else. Then I don't have to worry and have that anxiety about it. So it did work out in that sense. Like it was like, and yeah, it was like chill. It was not something that I wanted to like mess with. And I was still seeing other people. We both were clear that we were still going to date other people, see other people.
Yeah, and he was asking you about the people that you were seeing.
He was always supportive of it.
Yeah.
I was seeing someone or dating someone because like, I don't want to name names, but like someone that I'm kind of seeing again right now, I was seeing and talking to him when me and this guy were already hooking up.
Yeah, what are we going to call it?
We used to call him Dr. Boy in old episodes, so that would make sense.
Okay, Dr. Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were also talking about this earlier, the like old episodes you can go back and like, even though there's like typically a 4 to 6 month delay on things getting posted.
We've talked about this boy plenty of times.
If you go back and listen to old episodes, like there's definitely chatter about it.
Yeah, we were just talking about how if you're a man in our life and you don't have like a pod code name, then you mean nothing to us.
Exactly. This is like April 2019. We continue hooking up. Now let's say we're getting close to 2020. Pandemic hits, right? Things get a little dicey. I want to say it was like right after the pandemic hit, probably about a year exactly, like from April 2019 to April 2020, that I started feeling like I wasn't hearing from him as much. Like he kind of fell off the map, fell off the radar. And a lot of it I figured was we're in a pandemic. We all can't come see each other. Granted, I did see him a few times because I would complain to him at the time that I hated the guy that my roommate, I got a 20-year-old roommate during the pandemic, like a month before the pandemic, she moved in and like had this annoying fucking boyfriend. Like they would fuck so loud. You could just hear her getting clapped like from my room. And it was super annoying, and he would talk about it with me, and he'd be like, yeah, that's super fucking annoying.
Wait, side note, you said the funniest thing that me and my mom talk about all the fucking time. Like when my roommate had a boyfriend too, and they would just be in there like giggling, laughing, and you're just like alone and bitter. And then you told me you've had the same experience with your roommate, and you're always just sitting in your room like, fuck their laughter.
Fuck their laughter. So loud and like laughing and fucking so loud. It's like we're in a pandemic. I'm forced to be with this 20-year-old. You're awful. And then you want to add to that by having like a boyfriend who literally goes to fucking UFC gym and bought a Porsche. Like he was the fucking
He was
worst.
a douche.
And she refused to see it when I would like kind of drop hints that he was a fucking doucher until after they broke up, and then she figured it out. So like around summer 2020 is when I kind of stopped hearing from him. Like, or maybe it was late summer 2020. I forgot. But like there was a period of time there like into 2020 where he completely fell off the map. Might have been late. I'd have to go back and look. It's really hard because I've switched phones how many times now. Like stuff is backed up in Google Drive, photos wise, text wise, but I don't have like if I went back to old, I don't think I can get old Ring video now, but the ones I have downloaded at a certain point they stop. So I would probably venture to say probably early fall 2020 is when I stopped hearing from him. Okay. So that goes on, which is kind of...
And when you stop hearing from him, you mean, like, he just ghosted you.
Yeah.
Like...
Gone. And I felt like, okay, maybe things just feel so
With
the pandemic thing.
But I remember it vividly, like, oh, he's just...
It's been weeks and weeks.
And it was weird because he didn't have any responsibility to you. Like, so it was like, what is he running from?
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it was before that he was looking at applying to med school and things like that. And I had helped him apply. I helped him write his med school application. Like he wrote it and I had missed a text. Like, so like at this point, for someone you're not in a relationship that you're just consistently having sex with, it started to be where we had more of a friendship where we would like, he knew personal details about my life. I knew like where he was at. I remember the day that he wanted me to help him with the essay, he had texted me, next time I see you, I want you to read something, what I wrote, and I want you to help me edit it. And I tell you all the time, horrible reading comprehension over text. I read it too fast to notice. So the next time he came over, he brings in like a laptop bag, and I'm like, oh, like he was really serious about me helping him with whatever. Or maybe I was thinking,
I thought that was really sweet. Yeah.
I thought he just like brought it in from the car. He didn't want to get stolen or something. And he like, after we're done fucking.
He pulled it out. After you're done fucking.
Yeah. He like,
can you read over these?
And it was cute because I think I told you this. Like I have like a robe on and I was like, grab my glasses and I was sitting there in bed with him.
That is cute.
When he walked in, I go, what's that? And he goes, I asked you to help me edit my med school application. And I was like, you did? And then I looked back at the text, sure enough. So I put my like robe on. We're sitting there in bed. I'm reading through it. I'm making edits. And I said, listen, this is good. But like, I need to know why gun to your head. I need to know why you have to be a doctor. Like, this is okay, but this isn't giving me like this. I have to do this or I'm going to die. And he was like, okay, you're right. And we sat there and like, I was like, just talk to me and tell me. And so he started talking to me and telling me things about his life.
Yeah.
And that was another moment where like, he told me all these personal details and I started to like actually know him more deeply. And
also good advice. This is how I help Shanti with her medical apps too. If you're helping with someone, write an essay, helping them write a personal bio, have them just yell at you and talk to you and then sit there and make notes. Cause like that is the only way a lot of people can really get their feelings like onto paper is by just saying it out loud. So that was our favorite thing.
And I also think too, sometimes when you're writing things like that, you're trying to write from a point of view of like, you're trying to like get them to like what you're saying,
Yeah.
which is not what you want to do. You
No.
want to tell your personal story. You want to really say, like, this is why I need this.
Yeah.
And like, he was also applying to like students of color. It was like an early acceptance program. So what ended up happening was he ended up getting in. He got early accepted into Davis, did a year program in bio at Davis, and then got accepted in their med school program. So like we were, you know, now there's like connection there. Now there's like vulnerability that's
You're invested.
Yeah.
You have,
And dumbass me was like, great, because we're not in a relationship and we're not investing in each other, I'm not going to catch feelings. Like, this will be fine. It's neat. It's in a box. It's like, I can compartmentalize this. Like, it's not going to be an issue. Boy, was I fucking wrong. So now we're like, I haven't heard from him. I want to say it was like through the winter, because early spring comes. I'm still not hearing from him. And I'm like, this is weird. Then June 2021 rolls around. It's the middle of summer. My dad and I had decided to tear out all the flooring in the downstairs of the house I was living in that my parents owned and put wall-to-wall hardwood in. This was going to be like this gnarly, like 7-day project, but I'm off work for summer. So my dad and I are like going to do it together, and it was going to be great. So here we are, like day 3 or 4, where I think we've finished the job. We'd gotten all the hardwood in wall to wall, but I'm like disgusting. Like, I'm sweaty. My hair is gross. Like, it's hot. It's the summer. My AC was not working well at that time. It's like the kind of gross and like dirty where like you've been sweating and working, and then there's like a layer of dust that's like caught onto that. Yeah, it was awful. So my dad had like just left. It's dark out. The doorbell rings. And I'm thinking, oh, maybe my dad like forgot something. Maybe he went and came back like to drop something off. Maybe whatever. So I just instinctively open the door. When I'm telling you, I'm in shorts, knee pads, like contractor knee pads from doing flooring, hair up in a nasty ass bun. Like, I look toe up. I swing open the door, and he's standing on the doorstep after not hearing from him for months.
That's so uncanny.
7-8 months, I want to say. And I open the door and I look at him and I'm like, oh, hi. And he's like, hey, do you know who this is? And I'm like,
you're looking right at him and he said that?
Yeah. Yes. Like,
do you know who this is?
What are you doing here? Come on in.
Do you know who this is?
So he comes in and I go, sorry, I'm disgusting. I've been like laying all this hardwood with my dad. He sees the whole thing. And he sits down and like we start talking. And he goes, yeah, I was like up the street. My best friend's aunt lives up the street. I was delivering weed to her. I've been delivering weed for this company. I realized what neighborhood I was in, so I just figured I'd stop by and say hi. And I'm like, mind blown, right? Like, not the thing I expected.
No.
I'm blown. Mind blown.
We had let him go at that point.
I thought he was dead.
Yeah.
Sign on, went back to dust, move on with life. Things were good, but I guess they're not. Whatever.
Yeah.
Fun. In retrospect, in that time, I remember talking about it with you, and we talked about it. And you, I think, had come to me and were like, I have a theory that when you helped him write his med school thing and he got super vulnerable with you.
Oh, yeah, I did say this.
That he freaked out, and that's why he ran away. And for a while, that was like the operating theory.
Yeah.
And so that happened. So there, boom, June 2021, he's back. Okay. So like, I think because there was a lot of good there and I didn't want to really ask questions, and it had been a pandemic. That was like a vortex for all of us. Time flew by. I just kind of like let it go and never said anything about what happened. But we start talking again, texting, seeing each other. Things are good. Sometime during that year, he had moved to Davis. So that made things harder because it was like only occasionally he'd be down here in the Bay Area. It started to become like an every other month kind of thing. Because like that, I think it was the next summer of 2022. He had to move to Davis and was starting taking courses. But before then, we were seeing each other pretty frequently. So like one night he was down here at a party, like right by one of the schools I worked at. He was like, swing by, come get me. Like, let's hook up in the car and come back. And it was like cute. Like, it was like high school. Like, I was really into it.
It was so high school.
It was fun. It was like something I hadn't done in a really long time. And it was like really hot and fun. But thinking back now, knowing what I know now, I have so many questions about it.
I know.
So like there's that. And then I did go all the way up to Sacramento because he was staying in Sacramento.
Yeah.
And went and saw him. We went out together. We had never like gone out together.
Yeah.
And we went out together, played pool.
Yeah, because that's an important part of the story,
Right.
is that you have never went out.
Yeah.
It's always been at your house.
Yeah.
And that was your first time, like,
well, my house or his house.
going to a bar.
Yeah.
And I remember you coming home being really excited about that whole thing.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
It was the best. I
Yeah.
was so excited. It was like so good.
Yeah.
It was really fun. It was just like something enjoyable. Like the whole thing was a vibe. It was such a good time. And then, yeah, things just kind of carried on. Then he was like back for a while, but we always kept in contact. So now it's 2023. It's April. I'm about to leave to Italy with my mom for this like 2-week-ish trip to go to Italy for spring break. And he was going to Europe at the same time, but like our trips, like his end of his trip was overlapping with the beginning of my trip.
Mm-hmm.
So we were talking and he was like super excited for me. I was super excited for him. He was like, I can't wait to hear about this. Like when you get back, I would like, let's hang out. I was also going through a lot, like at that time, just with other family stuff. There was like a lot of stuff going on in my family, like leading up to my brother's wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like giving me such good advice and such like a supportive like ear, like a guy in my life who always gives me good advice. I had gotten broken up with over text, like a couple months later. And he was like super nice about that. Like we were at the point where we were like frequently talking about our lives, our plans, people we were seeing, whatever, like a whole thing. And so the entire time I'm in Italy, I'm texting him pictures, texting him because like
I know your mom was like, oh, who are you texting?
We were in Milan and on a trolley, like heading back to the hotel. She's like, who are you talking to? And it was him, but I said it was somebody else. I was talking to a couple people at that time. He was one of them. I was only talking to 2 people. But so like that happened. So that was April. So we like had planned on seeing each other when we got back. And he's like, I'm going to bring a bottle of tequila over. We can like show each other all our vacation pictures. You can tell me more about the vacation. It's going to be super fun.
Did we skip the part where you were dating someone?
Yes, you just saw that in my eyes, didn't you?
Okay.
As I was saying it, you saw it. Okay,
yeah.
So,
okay.
Let's see. It was Memorial Day weekend.
Yes. This is the one I want to talk about.
Okay. It was Memorial Day weekend. I want to say 2022. Yeah, because I went to April in 23. Yeah. So I had been seeing someone.
You were seeing someone
on and off for the 2 years.
And they didn't deserve monogamy.
No.
So you went to visit them. We're not going to say where you went, but you went to visit them.
I didn't even tell you this. They don't even consider me an ex. I brought this up with them the other day and they were like, you're not an ex. I'm like,
Well, what would they consider you?
Exactly. I was like, I literally met your whole fucking family. I stayed with them.
How are you not an ex?
Exactly. He was like, I wouldn't characterize it like that.
Like a friend?
I know. Anyways, moving on. So the last time I saw this person,
he definitely didn't deserve monogamy.
Right. We went through so much. Like that person broke me in ways I can't even describe.
Yeah.
My best friend, Danny, who you love.
I love
Stayed
Danny.
on the phone with me one night while I was laying in my room in the dark with my phone in my chest, sobbing for hours to Danny about it. And he was like, I never want to have to hear you cry like that ever again. So I'm out in Denver having the...
Oh, are we going to say Denver? Okay, we said it.
I didn't say a name. I just said I was in Denver. I'm out in Denver having the worst fucking time.
Yeah.
The worst fucking time for many reasons. Having the worst time. And the one day that I'm having the worst time, me personally, I'm texting Dr. Boy. And the entire time, like I would not have survived. I would have fucking killed myself out there. The entire time he's texting me, he's like, don't worry, it's going to be okay. The second you get back, I'm going to fuck your brains out. I'm going to blow that back out. You're not even going to be worried about this man. Like,
he's texting you he's going to blow your fucking back out. And he knows that you're laying in bed with the other guy.
The entire time. He's like, I hope every time you fuck him or do anything, you're thinking about me. And I'm like, easy to do. So literally, like, if he had not been texting me that whole day and saving my life, I wanted to die. And I had a panic attack. I was having
you had to go home early. You had to get a flight in like 6 a.m.
I didn't realize I was like actively in a panic attack state. So that was like also another point where I felt really like saved and like there was a vulnerability there and he helped me all that.
We'll have a story for next episode. You're going back to Denver.
I am. I told you Leo at work. I told him about it. He started playing clown music.
Oh yeah, which is me. That's me.
I was like, and I didn't even get the joke until you said something about it to me, and I was like,
yeah. When did he get so mean?
So we'll see. I mean, I go again. I told
that do it for the pod.
The Denver boy situation. I told my therapist, I was like, there is a lesson here that I like cannot figure out how to learn. I don't know what the lesson is. I guess I haven't learned it. But life keeps bringing me back to this person so that I can finally fucking release them. Like, anyways.
Hey.
He ties back into this though, and it's important that we do talk about that person because you'll see the parallels.
Okay.
So that was Memorial Day 2022 when that happened. 2023, now April, I'm going to Italy with my mom. We go on the trip. It's, great trip, whatever, we come back. It's like early May, probably at this point, we see each other. He brings a bottle of tequila over to my house. He's been out at a friend's party or barbecue or something drinking. He shows up at my house, like, I can tell he's been drinking. We proceed to open this bottle of Espolón tequila and sit on my couch. I'm crying to him about my family shit. He's like being so supportive. We're taking shots. He's like, just take a shot. You're going to feel better about this. Take a shot. So we're taking shots, me and him, trading shots back to back to back to back. We're talking about the trip. He's showing me pictures and all this stuff. And in one of the pictures he shows me, it's him like on the steps in a museum, walking down the steps, like, but it's kind of candid. And I'm like, it struck me as odd.
Yeah, how did he get a candid shot in front of a landmark?
Yeah, I'm thinking if you
ask someone on your phone, you're posing.
And that was what he had asserted, that he was in Paris, in London, and in Madrid.
By himself.
Yes, alone.
There we go.
Seeing this candid, and I'm like, that's weird.
How are you gonna? Yeah, you're not gonna ask a stranger. Can you take a candid of me?
And he had sent me the pictures to my phone, so I press and hold it, and it's alive, and he's moving. And I'm thinking, okay, like this is even weirder. So I just. Like,
oh my god!
I see this happen. I'm like, that's interesting. But just kind of like.
I didn't even know that first clue.
The thought came and went, and I just kind of like kept it in the back of my mind, like, oh, that's odd. 1 second.
Hydrate. Now read this bitch.
Okay. So we drink 3/4 of this bottle of tequila. I'm fucked up. He's fucked up. At some point, we stop talking, and we're just fucking on my couch. And it gets popping. Like, it's popping.
Uh-huh.
So I'm reverse. My couch is really low to the ground. So, I couldn't see him. And so then all of a sudden, like, we're into it. And then all of a sudden, I start hearing weird noises. So I'm actively like riding him, and I turn around and he's laying there puking or about to puke. Like, I can hear the puke noises. And if you're a dog mom or a cat mom,
you know exactly what.
So I felt like that's what it was that I could hear. So I like turn around and I'm like, are you okay? And he starts throwing up, and I run to my kitchen. I grab a bowl, I like put it under him. He's puking and puking.
Was this old couch or new couch?
New couch. He's puking and puking and puking into this bowl, thank God.
Oh, thank God.
So, like, the rest of it gets kind of hazy because at this point, I'm really drunk, too.
Yeah, and you're naked.
Yes.
Yeah.
I get him to the bathroom. He's puked all over his clothes. He finishes puking in the toilet. He's, like, slumped up against the wall in my bathroom. I get all his clothes off of him. I go upstairs. I get him new clothes of mine. He is totally blacked out at this point. I'm thinking, oh, my God. I put him in new clothes. I stood him up to put him in new clothes, and I turned for 1 second to grab something, and I turned back, and he literally falls back, like hits his head, falls back. Not super hard, but like enough where I was like, oh shit. Pukes all over my clothes again. I put him in new clothes. I clean up the couch. The next thing I know, I'm waking up in the morning. Him snoring is what woke me up. It's the next morning, and he's passed out on my couch, half naked.
Does he still have vomit on him?
No.
Okay.
There is like remnants of puke on the couch. There's remnants of puke on my clothes. There's remnants.
Where's Zoe?
Probably sleeping upstairs. She put herself to bed at some point. Like, these people are fucking crazy.
Yeah. Zoe's a dog. Not a baby.
I didn't have a roommate at this point, so it wasn't like anyone was going to come home.
Yeah.
But it's the next morning.
But your mom also just shows up too, so.
Yeah, kind of. But like, this man was snoring so loud, okay? So, but it's the next morning. He's never spent the night at my house, like nothing. So I'm like,
yeah, it's always been like 20 minutes, really, honestly, huh? Yeah.
Well, that's the fastest he'll get in and out. But sometimes, like, we do hang out. We hang out after we talk, whatever. Watch basketball. So, like, I noticed, like, he's there. So then eventually, like, he's snoring and snoring and snoring. I wake him up. He wakes up. I, like, feed him, give him a little water. He's so apologetic. I'm so sorry. Oh my God, you're so good to me. Like, thank you for taking care of me. You didn't have to do that. I appreciate it so much. Like, help me clean up. Goes upstairs, brushes his teeth, showers, like, cause like, I think he had puke in his hair, like somewhere or something. So he like takes a shower, comes downstairs. We fuck again. It was like an I'm sorry, let me
Damn.
give you better dick than last night because I quickly, like, I don't know what my state was. And helps me clean up, and then he leaves. Texts me later that day, again, like, you're so sweet to me. Thank you so much. Like, you're so nice. Like, really, really sweet, cute, kind, whatever. At this point, I had just gotten broken up with during bargaining by the asshole who will not be
Mid
named.
the meeting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, over fucking text.
Yeah.
So shady. And so at this point, I'm single again. So I'm back on Hinge.
But guys, this isn't Denver boy that broke up with her.
No.
This is someone else.
Yeah, just someone I had been like casually seeing for a couple months.
Yeah.
Whatever. So then I'm out on a date, like a couple weeks later. End of May, I'm out on a date. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is where it all.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. They're here. Okay. Everybody, listen up.
Buckle up, because you are not fucking ready for what's about.
This is where the story starts.
Mm-hmm. So meet this guy on Hinge. Super cute. Grew up in the same hometown as him. Played soccer. Had just come back from playing soccer in Italy for a couple years. So I had just gone to Italy. I speak Italian. There was a lot of things in common there, whatever. So we meet. We go to this place that I like going to for brunch. Ironically, I was just there earlier. And we're sitting outside because there's a wait. And so we're sitting on this like wall and we're talking. And I knew that there was a lot in common there, right? Like hometown, he played soccer professionally. You know, the Dr. Boy went to undergrad on a soccer scholarship. For the type of town it is, because it's a pretty urban town, that's kind of rare.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to him, and I said, oh, I know someone else from that town who also played soccer. And he goes, who? Dr. Boy? He says his real name.
Yeah.
And I try to play it off, but he can tell that that's what I'm talking about. And he goes, oh, how do y'all know each other? And I said, oh, we're old friends. But the way I said it, I think, unfortunately, gave a little bit too much away. And he turns around to me and goes, oh, isn't he married? And
but bitch, that even made me flinch right now.
The sky.
Oh God.
And I'm looking at him, I'm like,
you go, no?
As someone who has been told since I met him, I never want to get married, I never want to have kids, yada yada. I'm like, could not be the same person.
Like, that's something.
Could not be the same person.
I never want to get married. Yes.
Never. Could not be the same person. I go, so I hear that.
Yeah.
He's tripping. I'm like, oh, I don't think that's true. Why? And he goes, no, I'm pretty sure he's married. And I go, why? How do you know that? And he goes, that's my little brother's best friend. I was at his engagement party. And again, I'm hearing the words, but it's not processing. I'm like,
I'm not even processing it.
I'm like, this has to be
what?
And can you imagine, like, if I had decided not to?
That's my little brother's best friend. I was at his engagement party.
This. You know, who is the resident FBI director in this friend group?
It's you.
Me. You can give me someone's first name, last initial, and maybe the town they're from, or a month and a year you know they were born, and I can find that person.
We could say Dr. Boy, and you could find him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've done it for all our friends.
Me and Shanti always send you. Yeah. Send it to Camille.
Everyone comes to me with.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not like I haven't Googled this person every couple of months for the 4 years on and off while this has been going. I will regularly Google him. The only thing that has ever come up for him is a LinkedIn page because he has no social media. I know he has like Twitter because he had sent me some things from Twitter, but I never could find his Twitter. He is untraceable on the internet, which probably should have been a red flag. But nowadays you meet more and more people that don't have socials. And like kind of,
you think it's a good thing? I would think it's a good thing, yeah.
Like kind of like he's the kind of person where it didn't strike me as odd, but I have routinely Googled this man to find anything I could find regularly. So this guy now says, "Oh, I was at his engagement party." Takes out his phone and starts scrolling through his iCloud and holds it up to me and shows me a picture of this man.
Same man,
Dr. Boy, and the girl he proposed to, and I can see the date at the top of in the iCloud library, and it says March 2021. And my heart is beating out of my chest so hard at this point. I'm thinking I'm gonna die. And
you're on a date too. You're on a date.
And I'm keeping it so cool.
You're on a date with a man you just met.
But he can clearly tell
That there's, yeah.
that because I think at one point too when he's like when I said, oh no, that can't be him. I don't think so. And I go, well, maybe he was engaged, but he's not anymore. Thinking this man was just sleeping at my house a week ago.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? So he goes, oh, so I could tell based on what I had said that he knows I've seen this man recently.
Yeah.
So then of course our buzzer goes off. We go sit down at the table. I make it through brunch. I keep it together.
Yeah.
Only one time during the brunch did he look at me and goes, are you okay? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm good. And I said that was just like a lot to like, to find out all at once. Like I didn't know all that about him. And he was like, oh yeah. Cause he said he proposed to her at the Lake Merritt in Oakland. And his little brother, who's best friends with him, he's like, that's when I was still living in Oakland before I moved to Italy. I lived right by the lake. My brother called me and said, come down here. Dr. Boy's about to propose to his girl. And then I think he had alluded to like the fact that they had been together for a while by that point or something. And I'm doing the math in my head because I see the date on his phone that says 2021. And I'm thinking, I have been hooking up with this man since April of 2019. She had to have existed then.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking about the time that he disappeared from my life.
Mm-hmm.
And when he showed back up in my life. So if they got engaged in March of 2021, he came back to my house out of nowhere 3 months later. March, April, May, June. 3 months later. So she already existed when we started hooking up. And after he gets engaged to this girl, nobody made him propose to her. He shows back up at my door out of nowhere. So I'm thinking.
And you start hooking up again.
Yes. So I'm thinking the time that like he trailed off I'm thinking it was the pandemic. It was probably because it was the pandemic and they were probably quarantining together. So he couldn't be on his phone texting me all the time and doing whatever when she's not around. So I get through the date. I get in the car. I call you. You don't pick up, of course. Yeah. I call someone else. They don't pick up. I call Danny. He doesn't pick up. But by the time I get home, like 10 minutes later, he calls me back. And I'm like, I run him through the details really quick. He's like, oh my God, what the fuck? He goes, get your computer right now. I'm going to stay on the phone with you until you Google this and figure it out. So I get on my computer. I have him on speaker. I Google his name. The LinkedIn page comes up. He's never had a picture on LinkedIn. All of a sudden, there's this new picture on LinkedIn that I can tell based on the lighting is 1,000% fucking engagement pictures. And I'm gagged. Now, it is cropped down, so it's just his head on the picture on LinkedIn. And I'm like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And I'm about to lose my mind. So I keep Danny on the phone. You still haven't called me back. I screenshot the picture of the LinkedIn. I find this website.
Wait, can we clarify?
Yes.
Are you still talking to him at this point?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to clarify for everyone at home. You are still actively texting.
Not even that. Wait.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Something's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I keep Danny on the phone. Ladies, take a pen. Ladies, gentlemen, whoever's listening to this, if you ever want to find out anything about a person, there's a little website called socialcatfish.com. You can take someone's picture, put it in that bitch, and it will scour the internet with facial recognition. And it found him on 2 different Instagram pages, and not his Instagram pages, other people's Instagram pages. And this, so me in my prime, like, you know that meme, and it's like from Always Sunny where it's like the guy like tweaking out with a cigarette and it's all the pictures and all the ropes and everything connecting. Okay. In the next 20 to 30 minutes while I have Daniel on the phone, I find these other web pages he's on. I go to that web page. It's like this black young people, couples networking group in Oakland. And they host like hikes and like social gatherings and stuff. So I go to that web page. I can't find anything on their web page, but I can tell that there's pictures from this hike that he was on that are on there. And I go, oh, they must have an Instagram. I go to the Instagram. I find him on the Instagram. I find people tagged with him in pictures on that Instagram. I go to all their Instagrams. I find one of those people's Instagrams and they're friends with him.
And
wait.
So the story is about to fucking really blow up. Yeah. I'm going to stop you. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come right back to the drama.
Look, at the end of the day, follow us on Instagram. Mine is It's Erica Madera, ITSERICAMADERA.
Superdaughter handle.
Camille's is
Camille X Lane, CAMILEXLAINE. Rate us 5 stars on iTunes Podcast, but I think most people get their podcast on Spotify and other platforms now. So please go on Spotify, follow us.
Rate us.
5
stars.
give a channel on Spotify. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcast.
Yeah.
Follow us on the Gag Is podcast on Instagram. You already said that. Follow my YouTube channel. It's just Erica
Which
Madera.
is why this is getting posted because we want to drive the content.
This will be here. So if you're listening to us on audio, find the video version on Erica Madera's YouTube channel. That's me. Subscribe there. We do have a greeting card company.
We do.
So maybe we should we talk about it real quick?
Real quick. I got this beautiful Brandon Stanley for my birthday last year, which was like a complete shock. And I love this thing. It lives on my nightstand table. I only drink all my watermelon out of this. Is our sort of thing. We have sold our cards locally, and we also are on Etsy.
So tell them the
It's
name.
fucking adorable. It's Happy Your Birthday, which is cards for mom for any day of the year because we should be celebrating mom's 365 days a year, not just Mother's Day. But they do everything for us, and we can never live without them.
The pun is you go to the baby's birthday, right? And the mom is the one doing everything. The mom is running around making sure their 2-year-old's birthday is going seamlessly. They have no time to celebrate themselves. When really, we should be celebrating the mom. The mom is the reason all of this life is happening. So you know what? We want to start a new movement where we bring a gift for the mom on the kids' birthdays. And we could say to her, happy you gave birthday. It's way past Mother's Day.
No.
It's way, we're done doing it one time a year.
Yeah.
These moms need recognition all the time.
You can do it Mother's Day, Christmas, their birthday, the kid's birthday, Mother's Day, Easter,
Labor Day,
all the days,
4th of July,
Memorial Day, whatever day.
So you can go on our website. It's happyyougaveBirthday.com. We're going to put some of the cards on the screen. We don't have them with us. Next episode, we'll have the cards with us. We'll put the cards on the screen. They're really cute. They're really funny. They're really kitschy. Some of them, like Our Key Netted in You One, is a crowd favorite.
It's like a new. It's like not a mom yet, new mom.
Yeah.
Expectant mothers.
Expectant.
And you go with my principal. She's selling your baby.
Yeah, period. So if you know any moms in your life or you know any expectant moms in your life, you're going to want to check us out on Etsy.
'Cause I'm no superhero.
So we're back. I keep wanting to say you found him on Black People Meet, but no, you found him on Black Couples
This
hiking
other
group.
random page. Yeah.
Then you go into the Instagram hole.
Yes.
Keep going.
So then I get into the Instagram and I find all these other tagged people. And in one of the pictures, he's right next to this girl. And I click on the picture and her tag is on there. So I click on this girl's tag.
Damn.
It opens up to her Instagram. And I think honestly, everything happens for a reason. I don't think that. What are the chances, right? What are the chances that I go meet this guy, bring
There's
it up?
no chance.
He knows him.
What are the chances?
What are the chances? And I go to her Instagram, and her Instagram is public. And there in black and white is the engagement
photos
that is cropped down on his Instagram. And within 20 minutes, I find her entire page. I start screenshotting everything for my motherfucking life. I need email. Timeline
receipts, screenshots.
LOL.
Yeah.
So, boom, I scroll down. I find their engagement pictures. Same one the guy had on his phone from the lake. Again, ew. Where he proposed to her. And then her caption is something along the lines of that they've been together since 2015, they knew each other from high school. Who knew a friendship would turn into lifelong love? I'm feeling
that's so
horrible.
sad. Yeah, that's
not just for her, but mostly for her. Thinking, oh my God, I believe in karma. I believe in all that. I have thought for a long time, why haven't I found my person? Questioning lots of things, questioning God's timing, thinking, oh my God, the entire time I was over here violating another woman, not knowing it. This is punishment. God has been punishing me. And I didn't know it all this time. And then I was angry. And I was so angry. And also I'm thinking, I know there were others. He told me there were others.
Yeah, that was your whole bonding thing. Yeah. Was it you guys were seeing other people, but you were cool with talking about it and it didn't bother you? And then he would be at your house and he'd be like, yo, I met up with this girl last week and blah, blah, blah.
Which sometimes I think he would say there would be others, but I I mean, I never like, when I used to date someone else, like their phone would be going off all the time. And I would think, oh, like, I think they're seeing other people. That never happened with him. Like,
Do not disturb.
his phone would always be out, and it was maybe, but like, I don't know. I mean, he could be totally truthful that he was seeing.
Because you were texting him the whole time. You guys were hooking up, but you were mostly just texting all the fucking time.
All the fucking time. And when I was in Italy, we were on opposite time schedules. So like, I would be texting him, and it would be late at night, where it was early in the morning for us. And like, there was a lot. Okay.
How do you get
so
away
I
with that?
find all this. I'm on the phone with Danny. I see it all. I'm losing my mind. I'm screenshotting it all. Their engagement photos. So then I have her name. So boom, I get on Google. I Google
And
her name.
and her name is no. I'm just kidding.
I Google her name. And the crazy part is, her and I have mutuals. She knows people that I know, that I've known since high school, which is even crazier that like, when you have mutuals like that, like you kind of run in the same circles. Not that he would ever bring me up to anybody else or that I've ever brought him up to anybody else, but like there's enough, very few degrees of separation where like I could have been somewhere with people I know and run into him with people he knows. And the fact that that also never happened is crazy. But, you know, and I used to joke with him. And say like, you know, you're going to be a doctor. And I feel like years from now, when we don't talk to each other anymore, I'm going to be with my kid or I'm going to be with my husband or something. And I told him this one time. I was like, I feel like we're going to be in a treatment room and you're going to walk in and we're going to make eye contact. And that's going to be like, and I'm going to have to explain how I know you. And it's going to be awkward. He's like, I have a total feeling that's going to happen too. And that's going to be crazy. I think it'll be good, whatever. And I was like, yeah, whatever. So I find the girl's name, Google her. First thing that pops up is their fucking wedding website. Okay. And my stomach is
Oh my God, I would hurt so bad.
On the floor at this point. Out of my butt, on the floor. To add insult to injury, I remember texting him over my birthday weekend because I wanted to see him. And he was saying he was in LA with one of the girls he was hooking up with. That he was down there, some girl that he's like been seeing down there. That he's staying with her for the weekend, so he's not going to be in town. But when he gets back, I'll see you as soon as I get back. On their wedding website, they were supposed to get married on my birthday. And the wedding website is that they were supposed to get married in Palm Springs. It was like a 3-day event. There was supposed to be a whole welcome party and all this. So then I'm looking at it going, wait, this wedding website, if all this is there, there's new engagement pictures up, there's a wedding website. It's been now February, March, April, May. By that point, you have wedding photos. You have proofs, you have a video, you've gotten stuff back from your videographer and your photographer. And there's nothing on her Instagram that's their wedding pictures. The second you get your wedding pictures, everyone changes their entire
everything. Their whole feed is now and for months.
Yes.
It's
their offie is their wedding picture, everything. There's not a stitch. I looked in her tag pics, nothing. And I'm like, that's odd. So then I'm like, wonder if they got married. So I'm like Googling, scouring the internet for a marriage license, you know, someone else posting pictures about it. I looked through all her sister's Instagrams. Her mom is in the comments. There's pictures of them at Christmas with like her sisters in matching pajamas. And I screenshotted and saved that because I was like, I'm going to fucking out this motherfucker to his mother-in-law. Like I was pissed. I was going to burn the fucking house.
4 years? That's so fucked up.
Because also she deserves to know. You're saying you guys have known each other since high school, that you've been dating since 2015 and it's 2023 at this point, and this man has been dogging you out for years. Probably not just with me, but with other women. You deserve to know now. And it always kind of stuck out in my mind that there was no wedding pictures. So that also gave me suspicions. So this is a Sunday that I went to brunch with this guy and find all this out. His birthday was 3 days later. It was a Wednesday. So I lose my fucking mind. I find all this shit out. I call you. You finally call me back. I tell you the whole story. You're in disbelief. Daniel can't fucking believe it. He's pissed. I fucking told I was traumatized.
It was psychopathic.
And I was broken. I was like,
how do you get manipulated so easily?
It felt like, but it also feels like you think you know someone. I've told you so much stuff about my life. You know all the stuff about my family, where I live, my dog, my friends, where I work. You know everything about me because we've been seeing each other for 4 years. And I felt like every conversation, I was like, I don't fucking know you. You are a ghost. You are not who you claim to be. I felt like every fucking conversation, every interaction we'd ever had. And that's what really hurt. Like,
And you actually, I would say, so far to say, you've actually never cared about anyone that you've dated as much as you cared about him. Like, that was like...
I don't know if I would agree with that. I think I deeply care about people pretty quickly.
I don't know.
I knew that there was a limit there and a boundary.
Well, yeah, the boundary, but that was like, you wanted everything for that man.
Yeah.
And you were not willing to cross any of his boundaries that were unrealistic boundaries
And
to fuck someone for 4 years and expect that they wouldn't catch feelings or be your girlfriend. But
I was like...
the way you used to talk about him...
But that was
like
nice
you
part.
loved him like I loved Nestor, like loved him, like love.
But we
like,
didn't spend that much time together, but like it was just like the constant in my life. And when
yes, that's what you said. Like he was your one constant man.
Other things changed,
in your life,
whatever, and it was just the constant. And we used to joke with each other. We would even say at times, I said like, "Oh, I will fuck you till the day I get married. And the second I get married, then it's over."
No, you used to joke about getting married and still fucking him.
I mean, maybe like as a joke, but like
because you were dating someone with a small dick.
Well, yeah, but neither here nor there. You're gonna have to cut that out. So it was
I didn't say who.
Traumatizing. I walked around for a week just in a daze. Like I could not eat, sleep, think it all day long. Oh, and I missed the best part. As I find everything, 20, 30 minutes later, he starts texting me.
It's so fucking creepy.
And I felt like, oh my God, does he know? Does he know? Like, you know, like I truly believe that the universe, there's
something told him. Something told him to hit you up.
He texted me, he's like, hey, how are you? Like, I want to come see you. What have you been up to? And I'm disgusted and revolted. But like, he's texting me. So I'm like, fuck it, just text him back so he stops talking.
Yeah.
And I forget what I said. I kind of gave him the runaround. I was nice or whatever. But I was like fully fucking disgusted. So I find all that out. I wait. And it traumatized me so bad. I just said, I'm deleting my entire life. I cut every other sneaky link I had off. Here, there, whatever. Cut all the other people in my life off. Was talking to someone that I had been seeing before. Told him, listen, this does not work for me. I'm just keeping you around. Because I realized I was keeping people and I wanted to sage my brain. I saged the house. I wanted to clear the voicemail space all the fucking way out. So I blocked and deleted that guy and like all that shit. The funny part was, so I blocked and deleted that guy and then I waited. And it was Tuesday night. Wednesday morning was going to be his birthday. So I waited till Tuesday night and I sent him a text. And I have it screenshotted, but my phone's recording, so I can't tell you. But basically, the gist was, I said, hi, happy birthday. Over the weekend, I found out that you're engaged and that you've been with this girl the entire time we've been together. And now every fucking conversation and everything we've ever said to each other is a fucking lie. You have fucking mental illness. You need to get help. I hope you rot in hell. And then just sent it. Like, it was like 11:30. I knew he'd be asleep. He wouldn't get it till the morning. Sent it. Blocked him. Done. Blocked. Blah. Okay.
Yeah.
Done.
You had to.
A couple days later, I had someone I had blocked. Denver boy, let's call him. Denver boy. I had blocked him. And a couple days later, he sent me something. And all your Apple devices don't sync like they should.
Right.
So I get a text from him on my Apple Watch. And I'm like, why is this popping up? And he had sent me some shit, but I seen it pop up. And I just was like, whatever, loser, ignored it. And maybe like a month later, because this was May, we were finishing up the school year, probably sometime in June. I'm still shook as fuck. And I'm rethinking my entire life, thinking, oh my God, I'm now 34 at this point. I've wasted so much time. Like, why did I ever think I would find the person I'm supposed to be with when I'm keeping this person around? Like, God, the universe is not going to know to send someone unless there's space available. Yeah. And I need to get rid of this person. I'm glad I did. What was I thinking? Like, I was beating myself up when really I should be like, you're sick as fuck. So that happened. Sometime in like late June, I'm up in the middle of the night spiraling about it hard. And it hits me that Denver boy's text came through on my watch after I had blocked him.
Oh, yeah.
And
So
I
that means
sat up in bed so fast, snatched
went
my
to your
Apple
laptop.
Watch. No, snatched my Apple Watch off the charger next to my bed because nothing ever came up on my iPad or my MacBook from Denver boy. Neither.
Snatched
So
your
I
Apple
grab
Watch.
my Apple Watch. I'm sitting there at 2:00 in the morning using that little dial on the side of the Apple Watch, scrolling. And I get down far enough, and there it is.
No.
There it is. If you have an unread message on your Apple Watch because it's so tiny, there's like a blue dot next to the person's name, and so you can read part of the text. I call Danny, who's always up in the middle of the night. I call him. And I say, I'm spiraling. Or maybe I did call him and didn't answer it, but I was spiraling. And I was like, I want to check the message, but I was thinking, like, why would you go back there? Why would you even want to know what he has to say? There's nothing you have to say to him anymore. And I remember talking to you about it and other people, and they were like, why do you blow him the fuck up? Why do you go to the girl? Why do you do this and that? And I was like, I don't want that kind of drama in my life.
Yeah, it's a lot of drama. He knows where you live. Yeah.
I just was like, I just cut him off and be done with it and move on with your life. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, and then fuck it. I'm like, all right, fuck it. I tap the message. It pops up. It says, hey, thanks for the birthday wishes. But I had called you to talk about the other stuff. And like, I think but I had called you was alluding to the fact that he had tried to call me when it probably was going straight to voicemail, which is like, duh, you idiot, you're fucking blocked. Like, but there it was that he had tried to reach out to me. And the fact that he was referring to his fiance, this whole other woman who's been in his life for years and his whole life with her and the fucking lies he's told me for years as other stuff was all I needed to fucking hear. It blew my mind. But it also sent me on the worst spiral down of my life. Like you said, he knew where I lived. He knew everything about me. He left my life once and then popped up at my door unannounced. And I just suddenly felt so exposed. So this is like end of May, early June. I spend the next month essentially rapid fire searching for houses. Got it in my mind, I'm gonna fucking move. I have to fucking move. I want out of this house. Like, just all the memories there of him and other things. I was like, I want out. I'm out of this house. I panicked for the next couple weeks. Danny comes through like the knight in shining armor he always is in my life. I find a new house. And the night before, I prayed and said, God, if I'm supposed to move into one of these houses, I need you to send me a sign. The church.
Well, let's not say, yeah.
It's the signiest fucking sign.
The sign was signing.
Literally, sign was so signing.
Yeah.
I moved. Like, I completely overhauled my life after that. And so I think it was awful, but it also was like a major lesson. And it
freaked us all out. It freaked your whole friend group out.
It was a really hard time. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, there are times it still kind of pops up in my brain, and I think about how hard that was. And I think about if I ever saw him in person.
Because I feel like when you break up with someone like that actually loved you and you actually dated and there was no type of betrayal going on, even maybe they cheated once, or like even breaking up with someone you love feels like, oh, this was all a lie.
Yeah.
But for it to actually consciously be just nothing but lies the whole time. Everything that was said to you that was a lie. Where did I come from before this? Where am I going after this? What did I do this weekend? Who am I going to Paris and Milan with? What?
The fact that the first date when they're clearly together, and we went back and fucked at his mom's house. She probably heard us fucking, and he brought me there another time, and he was saying that he brings other girls there. So you're telling me your mama knew?
It's complicit.
Your mama knew you was fucking other girls and didn't tell her or didn't whatever? Crazy.
It's crazy.
In other research investigative journalism.
So now, yeah, when as the cookie crumbles,
So I've looked her up. I've looked this girl up. I think that at the time, I think she was living in the Nevada area. I think she was working from somewhere else.
Yeah.
And like totally remote. She is esteemed in her passions. I won't say what it is. I don't even want to like bring this to her doorstep. I hope she never finds out.
She's probably a fan.
Someone will probably hear this and send it to her.
Girl,
But-
you
but-
know.
It's been a year now, so like probably after I found the text, I want to say that was probably in June sometime because I remember I was at that house and I moved in July. Since then, every so periodically, I'll get like I like to what I do call emotional cutting, where like if I'm in a sad or bad mood, I'll play sad music and make myself more sad, or like look up things that are going to make me sad. So I'll look up her Instagram. I would say it was probably around October, November, December that I had looked up stuff, and suddenly everything of him is gone off her Instagram.
Look, cheers.
To that, part of me can't help but wonder if I broke that off with him, and if I felt as deeply about it and spiraled, I can't imagine he was walking around feeling good about it. So if she picked up on something or maybe went through his phone and found other stuff, and I mean, they clearly had a fucking whole, the wedding website is gone. They had a whole fucking wedding website, and it was months later, and it was clear that you haven't gotten married, and y'all have been engaged since 2021, and it's now late 2023 at this point, and you still aren't married. Like, was it, and he's going to school in Davis, and like, is it clear that you guys, did you figure out this is not someone you want to marry? I'm also thinking, like, he didn't go home. When he got drunk at my house and passed out, he didn't go home. I also thought when I saw all the pictures, because when I went to her Instagram, all their pictures, she was with him in Paris, London, Barcelona. I thought, oh shit, was this their honeymoon trip? I don't think it was. I think they were just on a trip together. So I'm thinking, if y'all were supposed to get married in February, there was a wedding website. Did save the dates go out? How did that not come to pass? But y'all are still going to Europe together 3 months later, or 2 months later, a month later, 2 months, February to April, 2 months later. Did you figure out that he didn't want to commit, and so you broke up sometime after that? Did you find things on the phone? Like, what happened that now he clearly is wiped off your Instagram and you're posting pictures in New York, like new life, new me kind of shit on her captions? I'm thinking, okay, something's up. So I'm like, not that I want to know, need to know, whatever.
We'll never know.
We'll never know, but there is a part of my brain that is genuinely curious of like what happened there. Because I know he's in med school in Davis. His LinkedIn, new picture in his medical whites in his doctor's jacket going to med school now. So that's the new LinkedIn pic and not his old engagement pictures, which are completely wiped from her Instagram. So like the timing is all very interesting of like how that ended. They clearly ended.
Girl.
Most insane shit I've ever been in my life. Like, I think it took me a really long time to actually fully like feel like I had gotten over it, like heart-wise, just because it was so jarring.
Yeah.
And hurt deeply. I don't think that I was like in love with him. I think that I felt more betrayed. I felt like if don't lie to me. Don't lie. I'm not saying I would have hooked up with you if I knew you had someone, but if you guys were open or something, not that that's what happened. Because someone suggests that, well, maybe they're open. I said, if he was open, he knew he could have told me that.
Yeah, he would have told you.
So they're clearly not open. I don't think she has any fucking clue. And I don't know, if one day I get hey girly on the DMs, I will be like, listen, if I can bring back up and you're not going to swing on me, I'll tell you anything you want to know. Because he fucking clearly lied to both of us. And that is fucking mental illness. What you have done is so clearly fucking mental illness. Which makes it even scarier that this person...
Just to get away with a lie that long.
But this person wants to be a doctor. This person wants to, like, handle other people's lives.
Maybe we shouldn't talk. Maybe we should stop there. But
like,
yeah.
What the fuck?
Maybe we should stop there.
Why?
Yeah, that's what we're all thinking.
I mean, it's crazy.
But I don't want to get into that.
But they often say that surgeons are like, they want to play God. They like playing God. They like that aspect. That's what he's always said he wants to do.
I don't want to get into that.
And I just think, God forbid any woman
date him ever again.
Ever, right. I hope that, like, karma and the universe sends him nothing but awful shit because it was really horrible.
You know, the gag is... And
I don't wish him any, like, ill because I just don't even want that on my karma. Like, I hope you heal. I hope you get better. I think you need fucking so much therapy, knowing what I know about his life. The fact that your mama probably knows all the shit you done, I hope she goes to I hope y'all go to therapy. Like, you are putting out evil in the world, and you're not going to have good things come back to you. Like, I hope his karmic retribution is so swift and deep.
Aren't you envious that for you it's not?
I think that it was a really hard lesson. I don't know how I thought I was just going to get away with that. for as long as I did. It was good timing. I was manic after. I told anybody who would listen and watched people's reactions and then like just felt this need to fucking like word vomit it and saw people's reactions and went, you look so dumb telling people this, but like I don't think I'm a dumb girl. I don't think I'm a dumb girl. So like this having happened to me, I'm like, if this could happen to me, and I Googled that man, it could happen to anybody. Right?
We have to tell everyone.
Right. So I think it's a cautionary tale.
The chapter is closed. We were able to.
Well, I think the cautionary tale is if you have any photos of this man, whether it's on your Ring doorbell, whether it's you snapped a picture while he was passed out.
Well, that's what happened to Brooke Schofield on the her podcast with Tana Mojo, is that she was dating Matt Rife, and then she came out saying that Matt Rife was dating, the comedian, was dating a bunch of girls at the same time, and then because of the podcast, tons of girls wrote to her and said we were all dating Matt Rife at the same time.
Right.
Then on their podcast tour, she
okay.
brought all the girls out that was dating Matt Rife at the same exact time. So look on our tour. We might have.
We need to reach out to Social Catfish for a fucking promotion because if they saved my life, and I think that like more women.
Hey, look, sponsor us, Social Catfish.
Socialcatfish.com.
Yeah, don't use it for evil. Use it for good.
If you have any pictures of this man, their facial recognition software, I can personally attest, is top tier. You will find that man and his whole secret family. It's like I did.
What I really love about this podcast is if we were songwriters, we'd be able to put this energy and write about these men in our 31 song album.
I gotta call Megan Maroney because she would tear it up.
She would tear it up. But this is all we have. This is our art medium, and this is the only place we can really synthesize our emotions.
This, but yes, like this is very cathartic to talk about. I was just saying, like living this over and over again. Like this is like, thank God my trauma can become our art. But I just last week, I didn't even tell you this. Like I had this moment where I was talking about relationships with my therapist, and it all just fucking came out about him, about moving, about everything that went on in life that I blocked and deleted. I cleared my main space, and I could just see her like. And so she gave me homework, but I feel like this week I know she's gonna come back and be like, so tell me all that again, because she was tripping when she heard, she was like, whoa. And
the whole world is tripping right now.
Well, I had to like come out and tell her because I just felt like I was keeping this and I wasn't really being honest with her about why all this stuff in my life had changed and like why I was deeply going through it and the things I had gone through that happened at work, like barely 6 months later that were really hard for me. And like I will say like 2023 was a motherfucker. It was one of the hardest years of my life. I'm so glad it's over. 2024 thus far has been very good to me. Like,
I love 2024.
I hope it keeps going for both of us. I think we have to talk about that another
so good.
Our New Year's like manifestation ritual
worked so well.
It was really important for us. And I felt like that was like honestly a rebirth for me of like, getting to start over. So it's a cautionary tale, but if you can learn anything from this, it's don't be a dumbass bitch and put that into Social Catfish ASAP.
And your trauma is art.
It has become that. And everyone knows the truth, as embarrassing as it is. I have had so much shame and guilt over it.
I'm so sorry that happened to you. I'm sure everyone is sorry that happened to you.
You unintentionally made me violate another woman in a way that I would never, ever fucking violate another woman. Like I've been through shit like that in a microcosm of a sense, a blip sense of doing stupid shit like that, and thinking I was going to wear the scarlet letter for the rest of my life. And making me realize a woman who is not loyal to other women, there's a special place in hell for those bitches. And I will not be one of them. And I'm not proud of anything I've done. And this, to not be in the know and to put that kind of fucking karmic retribution, that's what I was the most mad about is that, like, he knew how much I wanted to be a mom and a wife. A wife and a mom in that order, and in like you were blocking my potential blessings from the universe because you're fucking sick. That's what really pissed me off. So
hateful.
Socialcatfish.com, girls. Let that be a message to you.
Sign up now. I'm sure it's $10 a month.
It was like not even that. I think it was like $2.99 to run him through there once, and that got. I mean, talk about the best $3 I've ever spent.
I'll be on there tonight.
Taking my whole fucking paycheck for the next month.
I
gotta know right now. But honestly, it was so much better than anything I've ever used before. I would delightfully use it again.
The gag is, what are the chances?
Literally.
So we're going to wrap it up now. I'm going to remind you guys to follow us on Instagram. My Instagram is It's Erica Madera. That's ITSERICAMADERA. Camille's is.
You can follow me at Camille X Lane. What?
Spell it for the listeners.
Oh, Camille, like my first name, XLAINE.
You could also follow our podcast's Instagram page, the Gag Is podcast. Definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're listening to this episode or you found us on Instagram or TikTok, we have full video episodes, so you get to see the trauma on our faces as we're telling you, plus all of the screenshots, the Ring doorbell videos.
We're gonna blur his face, but yeah,
we'll blur his face, or we won't.
No, I mean, as much as I feel like this could be Risa Tisa lucrative, like she signed a huge contract with CAA, but I don't know if I want that kind of smoke in my life. Like,
I wouldn't call it
smoke.
smoke.
For the money, I would for sure, but
I don't know if I would call it smoke.
Mama.
They're not gonna find him.
The Risa Tisa of it all.
They might find him on Are We Dating the Same Man Facebook
No,
group.
well, maybe if somebody has pictures, but honestly, they can't because he has no socials. But I should fucking anonymously put him on there and be like, he was. Well, yeah, I don't even know.
Are We Dating the Same Man?
I'm moving on my way.
So definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel, Erica Madera. That's where these podcast episodes will live, as well as all my other fun vlogs, going to New York, going to Chinatown, vlogs with Camille.
Eventually, we will get this on Spotify and have it linked all there together. But yeah,
you can see us all around. Definitely go to the audio page on Apple Podcasts and rate us 5 stars, and tell us some traumatic story you've had with a man or a woman.
Yeah.
I want to hear your put your trauma in the comments.
Yeah, that I'm not the only dumb bitch that this is
# trauma is art. And you guys saw during the commercial break, we have a greeting card company geared towards moms, expectant mothers, all things motherhood, called Happy You Gave Birthday. It is to celebrate the moms in your life that are too busy celebrating their children. We're too busy celebrating the kids that they popped out instead of the actual women who brought them on this earth. So instead of saying happy birthday to the kid, run over to the mom and say, happy you gave birthday. Assortment of cards available on Etsy. That will be happyyougavebirthday.com. Definitely sign up now, and
we'll see you soon. More to come. What?
Am I missing anything?
No, this is the relaunch. Back again.
Yeah, we're doing weekly episodes.
Don't lie to me.
Don't lie to me.
We don't drop when we drop, girl. Just put your subscribe notifications on.
If you're watching this on YouTube, there are 27. There's the log of 27 audio podcasts.
Go back
on
the beginning.
On Apple and Spotify. So go back and listen.
Construct the timeline of this relationship.
You could see everything that went down. I transitioned on the podcast. Camille has done some arguably worse things.
I think the next update we do is a full life update about everything.
Yeah, we have so much to catch up on.
The picture of why we are where we are now.
We're still best friends. We're still here.
We made it past 7 years. We're done. We're locked in.
Yeah, we're here. We're stuck with each other.
Yeah.
And the gag still is. Love you guys.
Bye.
Love you, Camille. Whoosh.
Oh, that was trauma.
I'm no superhero.